Unkle Adams.
Hey everyone, it's Unkle Adams here, and I'm back with a video. You know me and my upload schedule. No videos for a while, and then I might even do 2 videos today. We'll see how it goes. So, today I want to break down the lyrics in my new song, Heavy Mind. As you guys know, I just released this one. I've been getting a lot of love on this one. I appreciate that. It's different. My sound is always evolving. I try different things, as you know. And I talk about a lot of deep things in this song. So I'm going to stop as we go through this periodically and sort of break down the meaning behind the lyrics the way that I wrote them, okay? Now, with that said, happy December. I'm already doing cameos in front of the Christmas tree, so if you want a personalized video shout out from me, make sure you click the Cameo link in the description and I'll see you over on Cameo, okay? I actually started the day with a couple. I already did a couple today. So, here we go. Heavy Mind, the breakdown. Let's talk about these lyrics.
Steadily getting by. Watch the sunrise and the day goes by. We can make a lot of money, but we can't buy time.
Okay, a lot of things weigh heavy on the mind. Gotta stay ready, we're steadily getting by. Pretty self-explanatory. So even if things are bothering you, even if you have a heavy mind like I did when I wrote this, you gotta keep at it. You gotta keep going. That's all you can do. So, and then I'm talking about like how the day seems to go by so fast. And the days are just going and going and going, and we can make a lot of money in life, but we can't buy time, no matter what. Like, even Warren Buffett has said that. He can buy anything he wants in the world, but he can't buy more time. So I'm just kind of talking about the depth there. Now let's get into the verse itself here, the first verse.
Self-reflection, skip perfection, which direction to step next in.
Okay, lots to talk about. So, self-reflection, and then I talk about which direction to step next in. Don't we all feel like that sometimes? Like, okay, what do I do now? Where do I go now? Look at what I've done. Some things worked, some things didn't. I'm proud of some things, other things not so much. But today, it's a new day, so which direction do I step next in? That's a question we ask ourselves all the time, is it not? What do we do now? Which direction should we go in? It's important to have a direction in life, you know, so that you're not just aimlessly drifting about in the ocean, right? There's that old metaphor of a ship just drifting around in the ocean compared to a ship that has a destination and is on its way to the port of that destination, all right? So that's what I'm talking about there.
It's perplexing, people texting, taxi horn beeps, watch pedestrian.
Okay. Taxi horn beeps, watch pedestrian.
Ends they move round like a program.
So watch pedestrians, they move around like a program. And I think I was driving the day that I wrote this and I looked around and it's like, if you look around in life too, it's almost like people do follow a program. It's like they're pre-programmed or something, you know? They get a job. Okay, they got their job. Now, every day it's the same thing. They get up, they walk across that crosswalk to that job or whatever it is. Then they come back to their car in the parkade, or they go to the coffee shop and then they go to work and they come back. And in a way, it is like most people in the world are following a preset program that they just do over and over again. So it's kind of deep and there's not anything necessarily wrong with that. It's just kind of crazy when you think about it.
Mom and dad raised a good lad.
Mom and dad raised a good lad.
Yes, I did fall. Here I do stand. See what I did is proof that you can.
So I said, yes, I did fall. Here I do stand. See what I did is proof that you can. And what I mean by that is, even if things are really hard and it feels like you're facing incredible odds, you can still make the choice to keep going and better your situation. That's what I mean by that.
Things weigh heavy on the mind. Gotta stay ready, we're steadily getting by.
So there's the first part of the hook again, and now if you noticed, guys, this is a 2-part hook, so let's go get into the second part.
Money, but we can't buy time. Heavy mind, days go by, can't buy time. Trying to get by with a heavy mind. Days
Switched it up a bit.
prison systems, social distance.
Short bars, condensed lyrics, but huge meaning. Like, this song is called Heavy Mind, so it's about all these heavy things in the world. So, prison systems. That alone is like, you could go on forever about it, right? Whether it be the issues in the American prison system. Up here in Canada, we have our own. People going to jail for things they didn't even do. People going to jail for life for relatively minor crimes in some cases and stuff like that. Like, watch shows on Netflix and every other streaming platform, right? They have all of these crazy shows, these true crime things, and it's just like, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, we just watched one last night about a dude who was wrongfully convicted in Texas, and he spent 2 decades in prison, and it wasn't even him, man. Like, the police officer just, like, basically forced him to do this confession, and he was like, you were going here at this time, right? And he was just a 16-year-old kid, and he was like, yeah, I guess so. And this was his confession. They, like, forced it out of him. He did 2 decades in prison. He was not guilty, and he just got out. So I can't go on and on about everything, but just prison systems alone is just an incredibly deep subject. Then social distance, right? What we've been going through with all this COVID stuff, and it's like, oh my God, like, although these are small groups of words, the meaning in them is substantial.
Much resistance, gone in an instant.
Much resistance, gone in an instant. Gone in an instant. So that's trippy. I try not to think about it too much, but in reality, we all could be just gone in an instant, you know?
Different intentions, twisting wrenches.
Different intentions, twisting wrenches. So, like, people in the world, they have different intentions. Some are good, some are sinister. Some people are twisting wrenches, working at a job.
Working for pensions. Overextension.
A lot of people just run themselves into the ground for jobs that would get rid of them in 2 seconds and replace them with somebody else.
Different dimensions, Twitter mentions.
Different dimensions. Look how deep I'm going with this. Like, it's possible there are different dimensions. There's string theory and all of that. We won't get too much into it. And then Twitter mentions. Every rhyme in this sequence rhymes. Twitter mentions, and then you can hear the keys in the background, right? Twitter is a huge part of our culture now.
Strong defenses, weapon incentives, music collectives, writing the next hit, checking their metrics. I bet they think this.
I like that. Music collectives, writing the next hit, checking their metrics. I bet they think this. And then it goes into the chorus. A lot of things weigh heavy on the mind. Because when you're a musician, when you're an artist, your stats do kind of weigh heavy on your mind. I mean, some people will say that they don't and whatever, but in reality, you want to have good numbers, good metrics. You want people to be listening to your music, enjoying it, sharing it, and so on. I'm not the only one who feels like that. There's a whole army of independent musicians that watch my material, and I'm sure they feel that way too, you know? So all we can do is make what we feel is right and put it out there, you know? And I'm guilty of that too, checking the numbers. Oh my God, what did it do? How many this, how many that? And sometimes you just got to step away and let people enjoy it, you know? Okay, so there's the hook again. Now we're going to get into the third verse.
Heavy mind, days go by, can't buy time. Trying to get by with a heavy mind. Days go by, can't buy time. Trying to get by. Universal dress rehearsals. Life is not like those commercials.
Universal dress rehearsals. So those are 2 separate lines. Like universal, like in a way kind of everything is everything, like Lauryn Hill's concept in that song. And then dress rehearsals, you know, people preparing for weddings, different kinds of ceremonies, graduations, or even preparing for live shows. There's a lot to touch on. Like if I touch on each thing, it's kind of like here and there and everywhere, but it's all deep stuff that is heavy sort of stuff. So What do I say after those two lines?
Those commercials, rap.
Oh yeah, life is not like those commercials. Like you watch a commercial on TV and everything is perfect in it and stuff like that. But truthfully, life isn't like that, right? We know that.
Dispersal, tap the Morse code. Hungry kids run, there the purse goes.
All right. Rap dispersal. So I'm spitting out a rap. Tap the Morse code, which is like, there's a hidden message in all of this, but you probably won't understand it until I sit here in a video explaining it like I am right now. Then I say, where'd the purse go? Because I'm talking about, in my mind, it was like a really struggling kid who's had a hard life. He just stole a purse. Okay, so keep that in mind as we move forward with this. I know it's deep and it's crazy to explain, but this is where I'm going with this. So, where'd the purse go, right? Picture what I said.
Who's to blame now? Trace the roots back.
Who's to blame now? Trace the roots back. So in other words, a kid just stole a purse, but that kid could have been part of a broken system that never even gave him a chance. He may have been born to parents that didn't care about him, and then he ended up in a system, and he was transferred from home to home, juvenile detention center to center, and he never had a proper role model in his life. All he ever saw was crime, and he doesn't understand the concept of money, earning it. He's hungry, so he goes out and he steals a purse. But is that his fault, or is that because of the system? Trace the roots back. That's what I'm saying. And yes, we all have decisions and you shouldn't do that, but the system, whether it's up here in Canada where a lot of people end up in foster homes in and out and stuff like that, or in some other system in another part of the world, are they not to blame in some sense? You know, heavy mind, deep stuff. What do I say next? Man, this verse is this is a lot, even for me, and I wrote it.
The roots back. Every smartphone's now a newsstand.
Every smartphone's now a newsstand. You open your phone and you can see all the world events trending, this, that, COVID variants, Russia, America. It's crazy. It goes right to you, right? So I feel like you can't look at the news too much, personally. Back in the day, you'd go get a paper. If you chose to read it, so be it. But now, you can still choose to read it, but it's more accessible than ever, and it's like in your face all the time, and it's a bit much, and I think it's affecting people.
Rockets lift off regularly.
Rockets lift off regularly. I say it regularly in here, because sometimes I do that when I'm rhyming. But that's a trip. Isn't that a trip? Like, rockets are lifting off all the time now, man. We're starting to get into this, like, the space age here. Elon Musk, SpaceX. It used to be like shuttles only left every now and then. Now it seems like, oh, this crew's going here and this unmanned mission. And it's like, space travel is just becoming more and more of a reality. It is a reality. It's just a trip. I was tripping out about that when I wrote that.
Lots of friends in cemeteries.
And then that line, man. Heavy mind, that's as heavy as it gets. Lots of friends in cemeteries. And I have too many friends in cemeteries, you know. And it's a trip. And I try not to think about it too much because it makes me sad. I got a picture of my one friend over there who overdosed. I'm not going to show him, but you guys can probably relate to that too. We all have loved ones that we lost. So it's just all part of this heavy mind concept, you know. And we got to choose to use that as fuel to be like, man, I'm going to do this today for them. What if they were here? What would they do if they just had another chance? Another chance to go for a run, to create an art project, to have dinner with their loved ones. Like, where are they now? And stuff like, it's just a trip, man. Like I say, the song's called Heavy Mind, and I can't be the only one who thinks about stuff like that, you know. So that's where I was at with that, and then it goes back into the hook, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. Did I do a Did I do a hook, a two-part hook at the
A
end?
lot of things weigh heavy on the mind. Gotta stay ready, we're steadily getting by. Watch the sunrise and the day goes by. We can make a lot of money, but we can't buy time. Heavy mind, days go by. Can't buy time. Trying to get by with a heavy mind. Days go by. Can't buy time. Trying to get by.
So yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. It's a heavy song, but it's weird because it's also kind of upbeat. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that I explained the cover art. And my concept is that the anvil is representative of a heavy mind, and the balloon represents the song, trying to lift the mind and lighten the mood. Even though it is talking about all of these things, it's getting them out there, getting them off my chest. Maybe you can relate to them, and it's like, oh yeah, somebody else thinks about those trippy deep things too, like I do, you know? So not every song is like this. I don't like to touch on super heavy stuff all the time, but this is the kind of state of mind I was in when I wrote this, and I like this song. I'm glad I did it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the lyrics, all right? So I'm out of here, guys, but not for long. I think I'm going to film another video right away. So it could be a double upload day. I'll be back. Take care, guys. Unkle Adams.